Be making basics.
What's going on YouTube? Beat Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe as well as give me a thumbs up on the video if you like today's content. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Now, what we're going to be doing is making dark trap melodies. Let me say that again. Dark trap melodies in Logic Pro 10. So let's go ahead and jump into what we could do to do that. First thing, if I were you, I would start with a basic software instrument track, okay? If you're brand new to Logic Pro 10, you just click right here where that, say if it's right here, you want to click on software instrument, and under instrument, you can go default patch or use one of the sound patches below. I'm actually gonna start with a default patch, and we're gonna start with some pianos, okay? What you're gonna do to access your sounds is go up here to your library at the top left, and then just go over here to piano and then go grand piano. And so what this is gonna do is give you some, a real authentic piano sound. I'm gonna push Command K just so you can see what I'm playing on my MIDI keyboard. And I'm not gonna be doing anything fancy. We're actually gonna be, doing something pretty simple to lay down these dark, trap piano melodies. So let's jump in. What are we gonna do first? Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is click on these scissors. We'll go ahead and get rid of our windows over here. So the inspector window in the library, and it's gonna have you focus in this area right here, and also the piano. So I'm gonna actually go to my step sequencer to start off. I can do a couple of different things. I can play stuff using my hands with my MIDI keyboard and edit it here in the piano roll, or I can start off with the step sequencer, and I'm gonna be showing you some tips and tricks both ways. So first things first, like say if you're gonna be using the step sequencer and you don't want to worry about trying to program or play anything with your hands, what you could do is go over here and if you look at this area, click where you see the C, and let's just say if you want to change it to the key of F. You can come over here to this and access one of these. I would stick, since you want to do dark trap melodies, I would stick to either like a minor, like this natural minor, or try one of these down here. Just Japanese usually comes up with some real hard, melodies doing it like that. And what I would do is I would start this off pretty simple, and then you can always make this a little bit more detailed. All right, so instead of going with 16 steps, we'll go to 64 steps, and we're gonna make a simple melody. As you can see here, we have these little boxes, each right here. I would focus on putting like one note in each one of these boxes. All right, if you look, these are broken up. All right, and these are, all represent the different bars right here. These little measurements of time. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in. So now let's try that out. As you saw, I just literally just typed in some notes on each of these little box areas. Let's just see how that sounds. Now, if you don't like anything that you typed in here or basically stepped in here, cool thing is you can literally just step off of it and move a note around. So let's just listen to it. There might be something we need to change. All right, cool. And now another trick you could do after you use the step sequencer to lay down some basic notes, you can actually, if you're using Logic Pro, I believe 7, it might be in Logic Pro 10.6 or maybe even Logic Pro 10.5, but I'm pretty sure it's in the latest version of Logic. You can click on this and convert this to a MIDI region. So I just right clicked on it, convert it to a MIDI region, and now I can do something like this. I can highlight it by pushing Command A and then extend this note. And then what I can do to make this more of a dark melody, I can hold down Option and then just drag this down a whole octave and just keep the same top melody, but basically make a copy of this. And then what I can do now is just also create a long, like, extended notes that will go along with this, kind of like a bass line. Cool, we'll go ahead and do this. And it could clash just a little bit because we have some of these a little low. And what we could do if it ends up clashing like that, I could just take these, highlight just these other notes. And then what I can do is just hold down Shift and Option and then push the up arrow. And what that's gonna do is move these back up an octave. And what you can also do is separate those. So like for instance, we can just highlight this. I'm actually gonna take the velocity up on this. But say that you could have done this on another track. I can push Command D, double this up. I just held down Option and drug this down. And let's give you a little bit more flexibility here. Okay, and why this is going on, maybe what you could also do to make this even more of a dark trap melody, you can add another sound to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this plus sign, do another software instrument track, go default patch, and I'm actually gonna go over here to pads. So I'm gonna click on my library and we can search pads like going like this, and then all my pads will pull up. And that problem with this pad is it actually extends too much. The problem with that pad is it's doing too much. So you're gonna click over here and lay down this pattern. It's just simple, super. So that's gonna be like low in the background. And then lastly, what I'll do is go ahead and add like a bell sound. And one thing I like to use is a bell called tubular bell. If you just search TUB, you'll find it pretty soon right there. And I'm just gonna use this like an accent note, just to do like one note or two. And that was just enough fanciness to really take the beat up to, you know, a notch, in my personal opinion. So now when we, you know, put this all together, we have this. I'll turn this down some. What we could do to spice this up even more is come over here to the inspector window and maybe just add a little bit more reverb. You can use one of the stock reverbs, but I actually really like using like a reverb like for Hollow Room. And if you don't have it, you can get it for, you know, fairly good price. And so to make this like a darker melody, I still rolled off some of the, or took away some of the lows, but I also rolled off a little bit of the highs, made this a little bit more of a, you know, muddy vibe on this. And then the rest is all about mixing because you don't want it to clash. So you start off with these top two, make sure that they sound clear together. And so I'm actually going to leave this pad out. I think that the pad is unnecessary. And as you can see here, really this loop is pretty simple. It's really just three sounds, okay? You got two pianos and a bell. And what I can do now is I can just be going between the different parts and everything like this. This is obviously going to be a constant because it's like the bass piano part. It's kind of like a bass line piano part. So I'm going to say piano 1. And then this one's gonna be piano 2, and I'll say bell for this one. And at this point now, this is done. All right, so this is pretty much going to be our dark trap, you know, melody that we made here. It didn't take too long, but obviously we could do some more things to this to make this even more spicier. I can just double this up, and we could take this like this, and then take this up an octave higher. And if you want to add something else to it, I guess another thing that you could do is go with a lead, some type of a lead sound. So go to the steps and you can find like a cool lead sound that you can go with. But you don't want to add too much to this. And y'all, for the most part, that is done. Make sure you go to my site, beatmakingbasics.com. We have courses, we have kits, and we also have a one-on-one service where I can go live with you and, you know, answer any questions you might have about making beats, specifically in Logic Pro 10. So thank you so much. And if you don't do anything else, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're new, give me a like and, you know, leave me a comment. All right. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next video. We're out.